All right, hello. If you don't already know, welcome to Nolly's World of Productivity, where we celebrate entrepreneurs, share ideas, and give advice. For this month, we are definitely giving a thumbs up and celebrating our wonderful chefs that are out there that are building their own empire and showing us how to make absolutely amazing food. So I have with me Chinamso.
Hello.
And Nigel.
Hi.
Hi, how are you guys doing today?
I'm doing well.
Awesome. So I'm just gonna go ahead and ask you both, starting with Shannon. So how long have you guys actually been cooking?
Okay. I have been cooking since I was 11, so don't count my age. That's many decades since I've been 11.
Okay. And Nigel?
I was actually cooking when I was 14 years old, and I'm okay with telling my age, so that'll be 15 years in the culinary industry, very specifically.
Awesome. Okay. Like, when did you know this was your passion?
Sure. I knew that my passion, I knew this was a passion for me to cook when I was about 6 or 7 years old. My aunt pulled me into the kitchen and said, so come here. You have to be your mother's right hand when you're cooking. And I'm like, what does that even mean? Like,
Nice.
6 or 7, how? And ever since then, I have always been drawn to the kitchen. I've always been a creator. So being able to actually create something tangible with my hands and seeing people enjoy it has been what brings me the most joy, what brings me a lot of happiness. So ever since that moment when I was 6 or 7, it's been ingrained in me, even until today, to just share what I'm able to create, and seeing the joy on people's faces and smacking their lips and dirty fingers. That's my happiness.
Yes. For me, it's actually it actually took me a few years to kind of understand that this is something that I was actually passionate about. I didn't know at first. My aspirations were to be a veterinarian. I went to agriculture-based high school. I took care of animals all the time, so I really wanted to be a veterinarian. But when I started to pursue that goal, I realized I wasn't good at science, which was like a heartbreaker for me because I could not move forward to actually being what I wanted to be because I couldn't pass science classes. And I remembered that growing up, my dad always used to drag me with him, similar to Shinomso, into the kitchen, and he used to just have me working with him because he needed the help, not necessarily because I wanted to be there. And I realized I'm in college, I'm failing my science classes, and I said, what am I going to do with my life? And I literally realized I know how to cook. And I took the steps in applying for culinary school. I got into a really good culinary school, and then it was then I realized that I really enjoyed cooking and the art of cooking. And that's kind of like my story to culinary art.
Food is science. Food is science.
Food is science. Well, I know my co-host is waiting patiently to ask you guys something. So go ahead, Jonathan.
Hello, everybody. My name's Jonathan. Hope you guys are having a blessed day. Now, if you know me, I'm a fit fat guy. I love to eat. I love traveling. I love eating from different cultures, different states. I love to eat. For Chinamso, food experiences, outside of your culture. For one, you're obviously you're my sister, so you're Nigerian. So there you go. Yep. But outside of your traditional foods that you've eaten, do you think you can give me maybe an example of some type of food experience you had that may have had an influence to some of the stuff that you put together today?
Absolutely. 2 countries actually have made a huge influence on the food that I eat and why I love to cook, and just the simplicity in cooking as well. The first country is the Dominican Republic, and the second one is one I went to recently, which is Egypt. In the Dominican Republic, that was about 2012, so close to about 8 years ago or so. Went there and was on the beach, and I was just hungry, and I said, man, I want something to eat. And I looked at the menu and I said, you know what, let me just get the garlic shrimp. You can't go wrong with garlic shrimp on a beach. It tasted like Jesus. If Jesus had a flavor And in seafood form, that was it. And it was just super simple: shrimp freshly caught, cooked in garlic, butter, with fries. It was just, I don't know why, but it just stands out with me so much with how a non-complex dish can be made so simply and taste so robust at the same time. And after, yeah, and after my trip to Egypt, all of the cuisine really did influence what I like to eat. But the main dish that did was kofta, and that's essentially like um, a beef kebab that's on like a spit, and then you just roll it over an open flame, and it just cooks really nicely. That, I don't know why, but that just, it's soup again. That simplicity in meals and food, the communal aspect of it even really drew me into food. And another love of mine, just like you said, is travel. So all the countries I've been to, Ghana, Nigeria, Dominican Republic, even different parts of the States, have definitely influenced a lot of the food that I like to eat and cook and try to replicate.
Nice.
Ooh, man, that
I
from
like it.
Egypt. I think I'm. Can we travel?
Let's go. I got my
I
passport.
I would love to leave right now and try that. That sounds awesome.
The visa is still good. Let's go.
All right, now, Chef Nigel, how about you, sir?
So at least what so my parents and my family's from the West Indian Islands. My dad's from St. Lucia, my mom's from Trinidad and Tobago. And
And
and naturally, I love West Indian food, right? The different spices, the amount of herbs that they put in food is just, it makes food that much more amazing. But outside of my culture, the food that I really like the most, that inspires me to cook all the time, it will be simply food from Asia, right? So anything from India all the way down to Japan, you know? Anything in that cuisine range really makes food amazing. One of the first restaurants I started working at after I came out of culinary school, or one of the classes that I had to take in culinary school, I went to, it was a restaurant in Chelsea Piers called the Spice Market, one of John George's restaurants. He's kind of like a famous chef, and the food there was like really amazing. And what the play and the take on that was Asian street food. So we tasted all different types of food. So what I really enjoy about Asian cuisine is the different amount of sauces that they have, the sweet and the spicy, how they combine those flavors, and the different colors that they add every single time you eat their food. It's just literally mind blowing, right? And if I can replicate those kind of techniques that they use in other different cuisines, so if I can take an American barbecue and apply those different flavors and even those different colors and sauces to a rib or to like a shank, right? I feel like I feel like the culinary industry is just gonna literally be on fire. There's gonna be an explosion, because if you could take that kind of technique that Asian people add to their food and add it to any other culture in the world, food would just be better all the time. Just would be.
Oh my gosh, this is the wrong topic to listen to when you haven't eaten all day and just worked
no,
out. I'm loving it. I am loving
oh,
this.
they're so passionate and they know what each other is talking about. I'm like, I
Yes.
just want to eat.
We're on quarantine, right? Can't we just eat? Like, just
Angel,
Dang.
quick question. Thailand, yay or nay?
Say it again.
Thailand, yay or nay?
I love Thai food.
Oh yes.
Yes. Actually, who likes Thai food more than I do is my fiance. So she's in love with Thai food. So
Yes.
for sure,
I thought it was
for
me. I
sure,
thought
for
I love
sure.
Thai food more than you, but I'll
No,
give it to
I
her.
love
I'll be
Thai
third.
food.
I'll
Thai
be
food
third.
is the
Yeah,
thing.
I like Thai food.
oh, all this food talk. All right, I'm gonna go for now today, guys.
Oh my goodness. Well, as I was saying, you guys are so passionate. You got all the ideas, and I'm a person for people who eat specific types of food. For instance, I'm not a seafood eater. I'm not, unfortunately, and I know it
Mm.
probably goes against all Jamaican identity in a whole. But, but I am not a seafood eater. So I'm gonna actually ask
Yeah.
So how about you? What is something that you would make for people who have special types of diets or like something else?
I'm glad you actually asked that. I have been experimenting a lot. I call the kitchen my lab, and I've been experimenting in the lab with trying to find replacements of like people that have gluten intolerances or that are on keto that are trying to
Mm.
eat low carb. So instead of using like regular all-purpose flour or unbleached flour, I'm venturing into the almond flour replacement, the panko replacement. I'm also venturing into coconut flour as well. So in playing with the formula, I'm able to vary and change up what people like to eat and how I can service them. For instance, I recently made wings whereby I switched out the flour breading to coconut flour and arrowroot powder, and it gave it like this insane crunch that you'd thought was deep fried, but it's actually oven baked. Hint, baking soda on your naked fries is what gives it the crisp and the crunch when you're baking it. So thank me later. Um, in terms of people who are like vegetarian, vegan, something I like to do is give them like a protein packed option, heavy on the sweet potatoes, heavy on the greens, heavy on like the beans and lentils. So then they're able to feel satiated without actually missing a lot. And thirdly, a last option that I like to do is to swap out like red meat with mushrooms. I find that to be a very like hearty meal replacement and also supplement. So say if you're cooking and you only have like what, a pound or two of beef and you need to feed like 6 kids, which I had to do yesterday.
Mhm.
I quickly ran to the store, got mushrooms, chopped it up. They didn't know the difference. Everyone was happy. Everyone ate. Bellies were full. And I said, thank God, no one can tell that it was like mushrooms and meat in the stew.
Facts.
Nice.
Wait, now hold on. Were those the wings that you made for us the one time?
I have a plate here. Or do you mean these?
Display.
Yes. Oh my God.
Yes,
That
yes.
is
Yes.
impressive. Not bad. I don't
Oh,
have
that
it.
looks good.
I've had it. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Wow, that is
No, all
impressive.
mine. All mine.
I'll be
I'm
putting in
jealous right now. Oh my
Look.
gosh, I'm too far.
I literally do not have food hanging around, so that's impressive for real. Like, oh man. Okay. One of the main things that's trending right now is plant-based foods, right? A lot of people are very familiar, like Burger King has one, Wendy's has one, McDonald's maybe has one, but a lot of fast food restaurants have plant-based food, and you even have plant-based companies like Impossible with Impossible Burger, and then there's just tons of them, vegetarian meats and vegan food, right? So I grew up in a Christian household. And the denomination that I come from, some people might be familiar with it, but they're called the Seventh-day Adventists. And they believe in a health message in which God gave mankind a diet to live by, right? Which is simply a plant-based diet. So I literally grew up learning about plant-based foods at a very young age. And because I have a desire to not only make people, allow people to eat really good food, but food that's beneficial to the body, I also I dived into plant-based foods, right? And one of the ways I actually like aspired to do that was to start off using vegetarian meats or vegan proteins, right? A lot of it usually they're made from soy or they're usually made from beans, right? And one thing I know that people can eat, and I know that people love to eat, that's not meat or don't eat meat or don't eat fish or don't eat beef, are bean burgers, right? Lentil loaves. These two names you would hear them a lot in plant-based households, and for sure they taste delicious, especially if you prepare them right, right? And anytime, I would advise anybody who doesn't eat. I would advise anyone who eats meat but wants to know, is it okay to transition from meat to non-meat, to try a bean burger, right? And their whole lives will be changed. I promise you, you can eat good food without it being meat. It's amazing.
Oh my goodness. Okay. I like that idea. I mean, it's something to consider, definitely, because the increase of wanting to be healthy nowadays, especially 2020, has went really high. I can't even explain how many times I've seen on my IG and Instagram people selling supplements and things like that. So that's definitely a really good option for everyone. And if someone wanted to reach out to both of you for, like, let's say some kind of meal, or how would they get in touch to get that order? How would they get in touch to, make their order? Do you guys have specific menus, or is it just like suggestions that you get?
Okay. So me personally, right? So part of growing a culinary brand is taking your business from brick and mortar and to making it digital, right? And one of the best ways that I provide people with vegan food very specifically, I created a website called yummyveganeats.com. And on the website, there are 3 signature dishes that people love to eat, and they're all plant-based. And that's one of the ways that, you know, most chefs, especially including myself, can kind of like provide food for people who are looking for plant-based foods. Yummyveganeats.com.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
For me, the way that people can reach me is via Instagram. My Instagram is dining with the Dollar Van Diva, all one word. You can definitely find me there if you are interested in trying to order for. I do a lot of smaller caterings. Hit me up on a DM or send me an email to dollarvandiva@gmail.com, and I'll be more than happy to show you the menu of food that I can create for you.
It goes down in the DM.
Yes.
I am currently doing dual tasks as I look through the yummy vegan eat, because I'm intrigued
Not bad.
by switching to a vegan diet. I tried it. I think I kind of halfway went through it, but because I didn't really know what to cook. But if you definitely have stuff there, I'm definitely gonna take a look. And dining with the Dollar Van Diva, those wings, yeah, just already put it in.
Gotcha.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
not gonna wait. Just